Uh, okay, so I thought it might be nice to record a sketchbook tour. I've never done anything like this before. I never really felt like my art was good enough. I have a lot of sketchbooks before this one, and maybe someday, if uh, this video isn't entirely stupid, um, I can go back and look at some of those older ones. But I don't know. This is one that I finished recently, and I don't feel like it's that bad. So it might be interesting to go through, um, if nothing else, maybe for my own posterity. Let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to say? I'm not sure. I'll jump in. So I'm going to cover this first page just because my address and contact information is inside the front cover here, and I don't want to dox myself. So I will just skip that. So see, this first page is a bunch of logos. I did a little comic in 2023, I think it was, and I wanted a little corner box logo, and so these were sort of the company name, which was, as an aside, was going to be, I was briefly looking to start a company with a friend, and so we were using this name. That didn't work out, and so I was using it for the corner box for my comic, and these are the logo ideas. Some of these I do like, actually. I think there's some interesting ideas in here. I like this one. So some more of that. Another idea, it's a little bit hard to make out here, but the idea is that it's meant to feel a little bit 3D. I didn't really pull it off, but this ship here is like way high up in the sky, and there's a little tiny ship down there. You can see its shadow down there. And then this is like a face coming, like, carved into the surface of whatever planet they're hovering over. I don't know if that makes it cosmic or not. I don't know it's hard to describe what cosmic is, but it just had the right vibes, I felt like. But it doesn't totally work. Oh, also, like, it's a little bit faint in this video, but the shadows, I use pencil to sort of shade in. So, like, in a good version of this, you could see, it'd be kind of neat, I think, to have like light of this ship kind of shining on the face, and then the rest of it be dim. I think it'd be nice, like, lighting and contrast potential there. So anyways, another idea for a logo. It's a little bit cliche, this, not just the cosmic thing, but like astronauts and stuff in like cosmic horror and that sort of thing. It's cliche. I use it all the time, so I love it, but it's kind of been done before, so I didn't want to use that. This is just a drawing I made. I some thought in my head. Ultimately, I ended up using this for a panel in the comic I made. Like, I was drawing it up, and I'm like, I want this character, and I like this drawing, so I'm just gonna scan this drawing and use it directly. So it was one of the few times I did that. More skulls. I don't know. I guess I was just in that mood. I was trying to see what would happen what the skull would be of, if like two animals were fused together. So there's like an elephant skull and maybe, like, I don't even know, a squirrel skull. Same thing here. So, like, and they see how the elephant's eye sockets merges with the left eye of this guy. Same thing with here. These this, whatever this thing is, horse maybe, its right eye merges with the left eye of this thing. So I thought that was an interesting idea to explore. These are more logos. This is getting closer to the logo I actually went with. So this one is very close. Basically, the main difference, other than it being just more finalized, is I didn't put the tentacle things in the back. I just used like Kirby dots, more of a thing. But overall, like with the shadowed face and stuff, that was kind of the near final design. Oh, here's the very near final. Still isn't the final design, but much closer. So this is just a movie style poster that I was sort of just sketching out, getting ideas for a game called Mule. It's an old game from like the 70s or 80s or something. Uh, a classic of strategy and board game design, frankly. Um, and so I'm always been really inspired by it, and then kind of has. I mean, it's old, so it's like from the Atari 2600 days, and so there's not a lot to go by visually from the graphics themselves. So it's that in some ways it's kind of fun because it lets you come up with your own ideas. Ultimately, I use this design to um, come up with a more final version of this, which maybe I'll share someday. But uh, there's a final version of this that's colored. I did it digitally. That is, I think, turned out well as well. But this is kind of where the compositional ideas were coming together. So this piece is, uh, it's not, it's not, nothing special to be honest. And it's just an ostrich and some dude, and both of these are from reference, so it's not like I invented these. Um, but what's interesting to me about this is, and I'll try and keep the story brief. When I finished this, I had done this really fast. This took me like maybe 15 minutes, um, and I was sort of astonished. I was thinking about it afterwards. I was sort of astonished how quickly I did it, and for how fast I did it, how good the result was. And it was like I sort of think of this. There was a moment I was having where I was like, I know how to draw. Like I can do it. Like all the way up now, I've been drawing for a long time, but I never really considered myself like necessarily any good at it. It was just kind of a hobby. Um, and I did when I finished this, I was like, well, actually, maybe I am pretty good at this. It kind of reminded me of I play guitar too, and it took someone I know to tell me that I could play guitar for me to realize that I could play guitar. Like they said, "Oh, you're a guitar player," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I kind of am a guitar player." I had never really thought of myself that way, um, and so I had that moment with the guitar, and this was kind of like this moment for my illustration and drawing stuff. It was just kind of a realization that I kind of know what I'm doing. So that was nice. This one is as goofy as it is. It has some meaning for me. Um, More. What is this? I think I'm just more exploring some compositional ideas for like a movie poster or cover, but I forget what the movie poster is meant to be. This is just some design studies for Zelda from Breath of the Wild, I think. I kind of messed up her face, so that's not really good, but it's fine. It's a sketchbook. This is from reference, kind of messed up her face too, but had to go with it. Um, Looks like I used some pencil and inked over it. I don't always, sometimes I'll go directly with ink and sketch in, which is scarier, but it leads to fewer mistakes. But, or uh, going with pencil leads to fewer mistakes and is less scary. But I don't know. There's value in both. I think if you go with ink directly, it's a little bit more. Sometimes you can get a little bit more immediate results. Anyways, I don't really like that drawing. I shouldn't dwell on it. This drawing's terrible. I'll skip it. I was in Crystal Cove and I was trying to draw scenery with pencil and not very good. Let's see. This is from reference. Doesn't really look like the reference at all. Kind of got maybe the expression right. Her neck looks weirdly long here. But it's from, I was into this K-pop band called AOA, and this was one of the singers from that. Anyways, moving on. This is just a drawing from a reference photo. I keep a, when I don't know what to draw, I have a folder that where I keep these pictures of just like interesting pictures I've come across too on the internet. This is some historical World War II thing, I think, and I'm a big fan of masks and gas masks and that sort of thing. Good opportunity to study folds and shadows and folds and stuff like that. So, so yeah, just a little bit of reference study. Creepy Mermaid, you'll see this in my sketchbooks every so often. I just like the idea of mermaids, but that use other different types of fish designs or fish species to inspire the fish part of it. And then I guess I put a skull on there because skulls are cool. Not the greatest drawing, but I'm always a fan of this sort of like idea for mermaids. So there's more of those, probably even in the sketchbook. I don't know. This is when I was like making the comic. What's the date? So middle of 2023, and so I needed some turnarounds so I could keep the characters consistent as I was drawing them out. So this is just character reference for some of the characters. And then the ship, I needed to make sure that I had some design for the ship, so it looked semi consistent panel to panel. So this is just nothing interesting from a technical standpoint, just design. More character studies, mostly for the book. A back study, which funny enough I got incorrect. The sort of straps around her waist, there's a thick one and a thin one, and I got them backwards, and so it's probably all over the place in the actual book, but nobody notices. Just more ideation for one of the monsters in the comic. Here I like to do perspective studies. It's just this thing that I've been slowly, incrementally trying to get better at year by year. Maybe by the time I'm 70, I'll be good at it. But I feel like every year I spend a little bit of time studying perspective, and I gain a little bit of knowledge. I get a little bit better. Here I was studying how to measure in depth. So this is me trying to understand how to get the wheels on a bus to be in the correct spot in perspective, using the diagonal. So anyways, people who know this technique will know what I'm doing here. This I won't go into now, but there's a realization I had with regards to how people think about and teach and talk about the horizon line, that because it was very enlightening to me in my understanding of perspective. And at some point, maybe I'd like to make a video describing sort of what I discovered there. I really feel like I unlocked some understanding that most people don't. I never see really people talk about. So I don't know. Maybe that'll be a video I do someday. Another study from reference. Another study from reference is AI reference. My copy isn't very good. The reference was cool. I don't know why I kept this. Oh, this is me exploring better ways to do a mannequin. All these years of drawing, and I'm still not good at drawing a mannequin from imagination. It's like I have not perfected the technique. You look at like people like J. Scott Campbell comes to mind, and he just knows he knows the mannequin so well that he can draw it. Like he's kind of known for even his thumbnails to look really good because he's getting the shapes. He just knows how to do the shapes, and he's just nailed the technique. I haven't quite nailed it. I'm still working on it. I'll probably be working on it for the rest of my life. But yeah, I thought I was making a little bit of a breakthrough there. So those are my notes. These are just drawings from reference. This is Bill Sienkiewicz. I really liked the folds that he had done, so I wanted to get a little copy of that. And this doing the cloth over the head thing, this cowl type design, comes up so often in general, and so seeing it really well done made sense for me to try and copy that, study it. I was in a ballpoint pen phase, which I don't know. Ballpoint pen is a little bit underrated as a drawing instrument, because it's got like you can rough, like really lightly drawn stuff. It's almost like use it almost as if you would use a pencil, and then go in heavy like you would use ink, but with the same instrument, which is convenient and nice. This I drew from imagination, which I was pretty happy with. Like, my hand's not bad. I think these are drawn looking at the reference but not copying it, if that makes sense. So I looked at what sort of the design was for this, and like the pose. It's a basic pose, but I think I was looking at a pose here, and then I just drew it, but I drew it kind of like the way I would draw it. Same thing here. This is an actual copy from a panel. This is a copy from a panel. Like, it was getting to like Vampirilla, the Warren magazine's Vampirilla, Creepy and Eerie. My God, those magazines, they have the most talented artists that people, if you don't know those magazines, you may not know who those artists are, but good God, they're amazing. World-class artists who are a little bit forgotten to time. This is just from reference, I have bought these colored ballpoint pens in my ballpoint pen phase, and so I wanted to do something with some color. A little Ninja Gaiden inspired. This is that famous scene in the Ninja Gaiden video game where they jump into the sky and they're framed by the moon, and then they clash. This is there's a cinematic, quote unquote, on the NES where it's basically this picture. Copy of a pretty well-known painting, a Walking Dead painting. This is just a drawing from reference. You can see my reference down there. There was some fun AI stuff that came out where this was like an Alice in Wonderland AI video, and it was just kind of like scene to scene. It was just like so trippy and crazy. And so I was trying to pull out various things from the scene and moments that I thought looked really cool and just kind of draw them as reference and idea practice. So this is more of that. The cars weren't in there, so I drew the cars, and then I drew this Alice in Wonderland thing behind it. I don't know. Alice in Wonderland. More Alice in Wonderland plus some interior reference that wasn't in the video. More Alice in Wonderland plus an attempt at drawing a sky or a cityscape and failing, so I just wanted to draw over it. Just trying to, like, in this phase, I was trying to also fill the pages, like not leave like a lot of empty space in my sketchbook pages. Just to, like, I know that a sketchbook isn't necessarily meant to be for show, it's for practice for the most part, but just to like lend my art a little bit to some sort of compositional nicety there. Cars, just this is from reference, I think, yeah. And then attempts at drawing from imagination, kind of failing. Nothing too interesting here, just some attempts at imagination. I think this is one of those Muscles characters. So I was looking up the missile. It's like a little figurine that was popular in like the 80s and stuff. These little plastic figurines, and they had all these cool designs. They were like little wrestlers, and this was one of them. So I don't know, just decided to try and draw it. I think it's I forget the name. Oh, a Revenant from Doom 2. Just because. More practice, kind of all messy because of the pages underneath. Here I was drawing at the mall. So this is I was at the mall with my brother, and he was out and about, and so I was just hanging out at Starbucks, and I just was drawing the scene in front of me, plus other things on top. Practicing some chains with real 3D shapes, not the people who draw chains. Like, I'm talking about. There's like a sort of a basic way of drawing it, like sort of more graphic. But I like this idea of drawing chains that are like, look like they exist in space for real. Anyways, more filling page with just various doodles. These are, I was in this, I'm in this Discord channel, and for a while, for like drawing and stuff and comic book fandom, and for a while they were doing, what are they calling, group draw challenges, and one I was going to propose, I don't know that we ever did it, but was to make like a logo for your local sports team, whatever the sport is. And I am from the Milwaukee area originally, and so in Milwaukee, in the Wisconsin area, has two famous serial killers that came from it, and so I wanted to, just as being cheeky, I thought it would be funny if there was a sports team that leaned into the fact that it was like the home of the serial killers or something. I like the Milwaukee Quiet Types. I think that's a funny name. I don't know. Some of these designs are actually kind of funny. And I also like, sort of appreciating this in retrospect, the attempt at doing a little bit of like logo or font design there. That's pretty cool. That one's cool. It's got like it's like a it's gross, but it's like leather binding kind of look. Um, so yeah, and then this has got the ransom letter look. Anyways, more ballpoint pen from reference. I'm pretty certain. Maybe not this one, but the birds for sure are from reference. I kind of like it. The kind of like some of the gradation I was able to get. I don't usually do varied tones. For me, most of my art is just black and white completely. And so if I'm getting a little bit of tone in there, that's unique for me. The shining, the sort of highlight shapes on here are really nice. I like that. Just some character design from imagination, more reference studies, more ostriches, more reference studies. I'm still in my ballpoint, and this looks like it's like a gel pen or something. I think this might be from what movie? Sicario, maybe? I'm not sure. Then I spent some time doing some studies from Masayo. I forget. Oh yeah, Bravely Default, I think, is the book. Maybe it's Bravely Default. He's done so many like really cool character designs, and I have one of his art books, so I was just copying pages from his art book, and yeah, I just really liked his character designs. That's a cool design. Some poorly drawn flowers, a loose drawing from imagination. Here I was studying panels from that John Buscema drew and then Bill Sienkiewicz inked over, which I just think is a really nice. They're a great team. Like their combo. Like Buscema is a very sketchy pencil style. Leaves a lot of room for the inker to come in and breathe their own life into a drawing, and Bill Sienkiewicz has a very lively inking style, and so I wanted to like study that through capturing some of the panels. The funny thing is, like I wasn't. It almost looks like to me even that I would like lightbox this because I feel like I captured John Buscema's ticks, his drawing ticks, really closely. But I know that I didn't. I looked at it, I penciled it in, and then I inked over it. So I don't know. Happy with that, even though it's not from imagination. I'm kind of happy with the result. Just some scenery studies from a film. Another study from this is from Legends of the Fall. I didn't finish it. I was afraid to finish it because I felt like if I tried to ink this, there's sort of an elegance to the line work that I would probably destroy by failing to ink it reasonably well. So I just kept it. Vehicle studies from reference. Vehicle studies from imagination, some robot designs, which I kind of like actually. Some of these are neat. I like this one. I like both of these. This one's weird, but maybe it could go somewhere. This speaks to that perspective realization that I had, which allowed me to sort of be able to draw these rotated boxes in this, well, basically this drawing, in a way that I think what I would have struggled with if I had not had this sort of new epiphany on the horizon line stuff. So I just wanted to save our results there. Okay, so at some point around this time, I discovered brush pens. I can't believe that it took me so long to like try them and enjoy them myself. In fact, I had tried them in the past, and for whatever reason, it didn't click. And then suddenly I was like, I don't even know how this stuff happens. I got one and I was using it, and it was like, oh, this is what I've wanted my whole life. In fact, I went through a pretty bad phase of using fountain pens to do this kind of work. A type of fountain pen that had like a bent nib, so I could like fill in blocky stuff. I did my whole comic with that fountain pen thing, and it kind of like the result is not great as a result. And what I really would have benefited from and should have done if had I known and appreciated it better is I should have just used brush. I should have done brush work. And so anyways, I got these brush pens, and like basically up to even now still, I've been doing most of my inking work with technical pens and brush pens to do fill-ins and get expressive line work. So anyways, this is me kind of exploring this for the first time, and doing a little bit of drawing, maybe the term is alla prima, directly with the pen itself. No understudies or mannequins in a lot of cases, just going straight ink to paper type stuff. Kim Jong-ji style for people who know. And this is just drawing directly. And I'm always like happy with myself if I'm able to draw something coherent without on your sketch. That's not so great, so I'll skip that. Another direct sketch in ink, another one in ink, sort of like keeping the ones that I like. These were okay. This is a study from, I think, what does it say here? Anthony Jones. Anthony Jones did a piece that he put on Facebook, and I thought it was cool looking, the design, so I tried to copy it. This paper, by the way, is not great for brush pen. So later on, in other sketchbooks, I switched to smoother paper so that it takes the ink a little bit better. It's like a little bit more satisfying to draw. But anyways, let's see, more drawings that I liked in brush pen. Another brush pen drawing that I did. Again, I'm pretty certain it was direct to the page. Some reference studies. In the group draw group that we have, one of the persons did a draw this in my style challenge. So she created this is her character, and then we all like attempted to draw her character, but like the way we would. This is the second attempt I did at it. More direct ink drawings and a little bit of fold studies, just abstract-ish kind of folds. Another direct ink thing. I like that design though. Let's see, more K-pop reference studies. This is aespa. They did a little bit of a photo shoot, and I thought that some of the photo designs were cool. So this is a panel study from the Eternals, Dustin Weaver. I don't even know who that guy is. I've never really seen any work before or after, but I was just really thought this panel and character and art design and shape design looked really cool. So I had to copy it. Tried to do it again, but I failed on her face. So unfortunately, she looks a little bit ugly there. Bad drawings of these characters from a book I love, so I'll skip that. One of the group draw challenges was to draw X-Men you hate, which is, I know, this is, people are going to be mad at me for some of these. I don't really like Magneto. I don't really like Cyclops. I don't like Boom Boom, and I don't like, what's her name? I'm drawing a blank. But her, I don't like her. Drawing of a character I drew a long time ago, just sort of, sometimes I don't know what to draw, so I'll go back and just redraw characters. A little bit of animal anatomy studies, shape studies. I thought I was done a good job capturing that, so I wanted to keep that in there. This is just when I went to see a movie with where Frank Miller showed up. It's pretty cool. Group draw challenge. I think it was horror or something. This is me drawing the story about when I had found a dead rabbit in the backyard. So I drew the dead rabbit. This was some prep for a comic that I didn't do with a friend of mine. Maybe we'll still do it at some point. But it was like a superhero design for the United States after the United States had sort of separated and become other countries. So like whatever this new nation was, I forget, it's like the Blue Coast or something, and it comprised of like some cities from Canada and Washington and Los Angeles and San Diego and stuff like that. So it was like this like combination of parts of Canada, parts of old United States, and so I wanted to explore some flag designs because I wanted the character to be like a Captain America of that country, and so that their costume should be part of the design. I think we chose this as the design, and then I did a little bit of color studies, and yeah, but it's fun. I don't know. I guess I'm realizing that I have a little bit of an affinity for logo design. I kind of enjoy it more than I think I realized. Things to draw. This is a copy of an AI image. These are copies from AI images, just studies, reference studies, which I think turned out pretty well. A friend of mine's daughter, I gave her my sketchbook to draw in with some crayons, and so she had a good time. I really I love handmade art from anybody at all skill levels, so giving to her and having her like express herself in my sketchbook, I feel like is a little bit of a gift to me. It's really nice. I love it. So she was just going nuts drawing. She was really into space things. She's like, I forget how old she is, but really young, and she just loves. She like knows things about space. We were at the NASA GPL tour, and she was asking questions that even the person giving the tour didn't know the answer to. It's kind of funny. So just more stuff here. I don't think this is any good. Another AI study, a Kim Jong-gi study. He has his designs and shapes and folds, and everything he does is freaking amazing. So always fun to study that. Another Kim Jong-gi study. He just did a scene. Really has a really good sense of where the black should go, panel composition, everything. It's all great. I love his work. And there's just some junk. Anyways, that's my sketchbook tour. Yeah, it's not sure that I'll post this, but yeah, maybe I will. Okay, anyways, if you watch this, and if I did post this and you watch this, thanks. All right, bye.